Hi, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, this is Population Me. Hi, this is me, Miracle, and I'm back from Ireland. Roll intro. Alright, so I'm back. Today is Sunday, August 4th, and it's almost 8 p.m. Central. So I'm back in Chicago. Woo! I'm so happy. I filmed none of it. And I'll tell you why. This is going to be a really fun little story that got me really pissy at the moment. But as we're doing this, I just showered. You know, it's so late, but I just showered because I literally came back from the airport at like 12 p.m. today. So, yeah, so we're using our Handy Dandy Shea Moisture. I don't know why I never just put it in the right place. Anyway, I'm going to do a wash and go. It won't look like it. Anyway, okay, so to start off the story, I basically left yesterday from my hotel at like 12 p.m. checkout time, and I went to the airport, and the airport, oh my god, real quick, you really can't see that, but like my finger has been like peeling this entire week, and I couldn't tell you why. I don't know. Anyway, as I was saying, I checked out 12 p.m. yesterday in Ireland, in Dublin, and I went to my airport, right, to leave because I was like, oh, I'm gonna leave. And the plan of attack was literally, you're gonna leave and then you can come back to Chicago 8 p.m. that very same day. And that was the idea. It was going to be a non-stop 8-hour flight, and I was going to be poof, like magic, just gone there and come back. And I was going to be happy because we don't like layovers over here at all. And you'll kind of see why. But I kind of had like kind of a shitty day on my last day. So literally yesterday, Saturday, I literally ordered food online, and my food never came. But I already spent like $20 on it. But it never came. And it was from McDonald's because honestly, haven't had McDonald's in a minute and probably still won't because the food never came at all. And then I called their number or the number they provided me on their website, and it literally kept going to like voicemail every single time. Yeah. For 20 minutes I called, went to voicemail, and then kept saying, this is an emergency, call 911. And I was so... I could have sworn it gave me a different number. But anyway, anywho, I was really pissed off because I was really hungry, obviously. So I ordered Subway instead. Yada, yada, yada. The food actually came. It was trash. I didn't like it, but I ate it because I was hungry. So I go to the airport, I'm there, I put my bag in checkout, and then I go through, and then my flight is delayed, which I'm like, okay, whatever, because my flight was originally at 11:35 a.m. On Saturday, so I would have to literally wake up at like 8 o'clock to leave, and then go to the airport beforehand just to like get everything done and go to the right gate and everything, you know. The timelines depends on how close you are to your gate. I was not close to my gate, so I definitely am glad I had a delay. And it delayed all the way to 3 p.m., which I thought was perfect because leaving at like 12 in the afternoon was like perfect timing for me to be like, okay, great. By the way, I scratched about the wash and go. This isn't going to be a wash and go. I can already feel this smoothie doing nothing to my hair. So this is gonna be an afro because honestly I'm just tired. But I get to the airport, I get to my gate. It's now pushed to like 3 p.m. and I'm like, great, perfect. It took me an hour to find my gate. Don't ask me why. It was a really big airport. And I get on the plane and I'm like, great. Of course, because it was delayed, I have a layover as well. And layover is from Dublin to like New York. I'm gonna mispronounce that wrong, but it's in New Jersey. It is not New York. It is Newark in New Jersey, which is kind of a weird name when you're really close to New York. But anyway, I go on the plane. it's 8 hours. And I'm just like, okay, 8 hours for a layover is really stupid because it would have been 8 hours just to Chicago. And I'm kind of pressed, but I'm not really letting it show because at this point you have to like delegate something to layovers and delays, even if you don't want to. It is storm season, so I understand a little bit about that. But I'm like getting a little stressed out on the plane because it's been 8 hours and we're not landing. And we're kind of having like those track patterns on like the little TVs they give you on the chairs and stuff. And it shows you like, oh, we're going to Newark, New Jersey. I'm just gonna say New Jersey. We go to New Jersey, and it tells you we have thunderstorms happening in New Jersey, and literally also is a high of 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Which I was like, okay, I don't know why you have both bad things happening to you at once, but I guess that's New Jersey for you. They just can never win, and the flight doesn't get canceled, doesn't get pushed back to when the thunderstorm is over or whatever. So we just kind of keep going. And then literally 8 hours later, because the TV tracks it, whatever. 8 hours later, we're still in the air, and I'm kind of getting a little stressed out because you can only imagine what sitting down for 8 hours or like just being in the same place for 8 hours can really do to you. And I have not been watching good movies; they all been mediocre films. Yeah, that's not doing anything to my hair. Anyway, I've been watching mediocre films because I've never seen the movies. I'm not gonna say it because someone's gonna be like, "Oh, your movie chases whatever." Roadhouse. I did see the Roadhouse movie with Jake Gyllenhaal. It was a solid 6 out of 10. It wasn't good. The fight scenes were great, but the storyline was stupid. Like, where was Frankie? What was she doing? Why was she just standing there while it's her business? We're all being killed over. Like, I don't get it. But anywho, we're still in the air after like 8 hours, and literally the pilot's like, "Oh my god, we can't land yet because there's too much air traffic. Planes are leaving or they're coming over there or whatever." And we're like, "Okay, whatever. We're gonna be in the air for the next 30 minutes." An hour goes by, not even 30 minutes. The whole entire hour goes by. And if I seem stressed out or if I seem a little bit tired, I am less stressed out than I was before, and I am just tired. Not even jet lag made me tired. Just the day, just being around all day. I'm currently on my bedroom floor because I'd rather be here than in my living room. But essentially, we go in the air, we stay in the air, and we don't really go anywhere. And we're just like, I guess, I don't know what we're doing. We're just floating in the air. I don't know what planes do. They don't like move. But we just, go in the air. And then they're like, oh, goes back on the comms in those really terrible pilot voices. And he's like, oh, actually, we can't go because there's a thunderstorm. There's a thunderstorm. The same thunderstorm that was literally in the TV on the back of everyone's chair saying thunderstorm with a high of 100 degrees Fahrenheit in New York. And I'm just like, did you not know that before we were coming over there? So, yeah, instead of going to New York, we go to Albany, which I'm assuming is in New York, like upper New York, whatever. I'm not from there. But we go to Albany instead, and that takes like an hour because we're close, but we're not like that close, and we still need clearance to get to Albany. But we go there, it's been 8 hours, and I'm kind of tired, but at this point, I'm not as tired as other people. Other people literally took out blankets and started sleeping on the floor because we were being told like, oh, you're gonna actually come there at 12 a.m. because they need to get fuel for the plane, and we need a captain and a new flight crew. And I was in my head like, okay, where are these people coming from? Because the place that we're in Albany is closed. Like, it's literally 9 p.m. No one's there. We're like the only ones in this empty like airport. And the guy's like, oh yeah, the captain's coming from like Washington. The flight crew is coming from Chicago. And I was like, what? Chicago? What do you mean? I literally was just talking about how I was supposed to go straight from Dublin to Chicago. And here people are coming from like Chicago to Albany, and I'm like, so they can go there, but I can't go straight to Chicago. No, that makes total sense. I'm glad we all like agree on that stupid notion. But that took like 3 to 4 hours because it's 9 o'clock. They came like 12:30. They gave us snacks. But at this point, people were getting pissed off because a lot of people had kids, so it was really annoying. And we were just there for like 4 hours shooting the breeze. It was kind of cool, kind of warm. I don't know. I don't remember. I was stressed. I was honestly so stressed. I was literally just like sitting there like, because obviously, right, if you have a layover, you kind of have to worry about the next plane over that's taking you to your final destination. And my plane was supposed to land me in Newark at like 10 or 11. And I'm supposed to go in Chicago around 12 and land there like, I don't know, 2 o'clock and then convert that to Central Time, whatever that is. In the morning, right? In the morning. And I was like, okay, how is this going to affect my flight? And I'm flying United. Ugh, so annoying. I like United, but I guess when it comes to national flights, it's a whole different ballgame because domestically they're okay, but internationally they are a big no-no. And I don't know why. They just ugh. Anyway, I go on their app and I'm checking like, okay, how can I get another plane from Newark? Because the current one is already gone or it's canceled. I don't know what's happening in Chicago. I think there's a thunderstorm in Chicago as well. Nothing is being told. I'm just seeing delays in Chicago, and I'm like, okay, well, that's not gonna fly because I'm leaving for New York around like 1. If we're being really honest, if everyone comes at 12, I'm gonna be there at 1 or like 2. I don't know. Well, I will know, but at the point I didn't know. So I get like a different flight, and it says, okay, you gotta be there at 2. And I was like, perfect. It's only like 10 o'clock now. I will be fine, right? I will literally be alive. Also, if you hear a loud noise, that is my AC going off because it is very hot in Chicago. Very hot. It's 85 degrees. And my microphone's not working. Okay. So, I would wait like 4 hours. And I'm on Instagram. I'm literally scrolling through Instagram for 4 hours because I can't sleep in an airport. And I'm definitely not going to. And I'm kind of stressed out to sleep, so I'm just staying up. Because why not? I'm eating snacks. They had goldfish. They had like snack that smells bad. So I ate it. It was rainbow color, so it was yum. And then we got back on the plane. We go back on a plane. We go back to our assigned seats, whatever. And then we take off. Less than 2 hours later, we're literally back in Newark. Not back, but we go to Newark. And it was like 4 hours for a 2-hour flight. You know how that goes. Really trash, whatever. And it's 1:50 in the morning, right? New York time. No, New Jersey time. I was like, New Jersey time. And I saw that I had 10 minutes from where I was at to the gate I needed to go to in order to get to the plane that'll take me to potentially Chicago. Mind you, by this point I'd taken 2 planes because there was a delay and then there was a storm that pushed the delays even further. And yeah, so I'm literally going to like other people, people who work there, asking them, hey, do you know where these gates are? But first I have to find them. And that, oh my gosh, that was the trickiest thing that I ever had to do during my entire time in airports today, or yesterday, but really both days, was looking for people. Because who is working 1 o'clock in the morning? No one. Literally no one. I have to find people in like those bright colored vests because I was squinting trying to find people. But I found them and I was like, hey, do you know what this gate is? And he's like, oh, what time's your flight? I'm like, 2 o'clock. And he's like, why are you down coming here? And I'm like, my plane literally just got me off 2 seconds ago. And he's like, oh, and he's like, oh, we have to take this shuttle bus all the way to this terminal to this place and go upstairs. And I'm like, terminal, shuttle bus. I have 10 minutes. So I'm like, okay, point me where. And he's like, go here. And I'm like, thanks. And then I literally rushed to that bus, to a random shuttle bus, which I don't know why shuttle buses don't take the entire route, but we'll get into that. I'm basically going downstairs. I take the shuttle bus, or a shuttle bus. I'm trying to go from C to A, terminal C to A, right? And there's a B in between that, and there's like probably no other terminal Maybe there's a 1. I don't know. I don't know where I'm at in New Jersey. All I know is I'm at a random airport trying to get to another side of an airport, whatever. And oh my god, I get on this random shuttle bus, and I'm asking, do you go to shuttle A? And they're like, no, we go to shuttle B. And I'm like, okay, but are you going to A right after? And I'm like, oh yeah, like in 40 minutes. And I'm like sitting there like, what do you mean 40 minutes? It will take you 10 minutes to get to B, so why would it take you 40 minutes from C to A? I was really confused. And the people who were trying to get people, there was a lot of people. Let me backtrack, I'm getting ahead of myself. There was a lot of people at the shuttle stop. A lot of people's flights got delayed too, and a lot of people were looking for shuttle buses, and they were not coming very often. They would come 10 minutes at a time, which may seem like really quick timing, but this isn't public transportation where you need 10 minutes to get a lot of people. These are people trying to get like 10 minutes away from walking, right? So you will think they just come in rows because all these people are here at 1 o'clock in the morning when realistically they shouldn't even be in the streets waiting for a shuttle bus, if we're being honest, at 1 o'clock in the morning. Especially when most of the staff isn't there. So we literally are waiting for like a shuttle bus, me and like my 100 people friends, right? Because we're all annoyed about the same thing. So we're becoming little besties and stuff. And we get on this shuttle bus, and he's like, oh, it's only going to B. We're not going to A. And he said this after we have all piled in, standing up, not having no space to breathe. And he's like, actually, everyone who's going to A, come on out. Like, your shuttle's coming in 10 minutes. The entire bus basically left. 3 people were left in the bus. I was one of the 3. I lied. I said I was going to be. I was not going to be. But I already waited 10 minutes and it was not coming in 10 minutes. But to keep this story really short, because I'm just like, whatever, I basically got on the bus, stayed until B. B came, another shuttle bus came, so I got off at B, went to a second shuttle bus. It went towards the same route, so I assumed A was close by. It was not A. I don't know where it was, but it said it wasn't A. And we had to take a third shuttle bus that actually was going to, Terminal A. So I took 3 shuttle buses, and I spent 40 minutes to get from C to A. And if this story is boring to you, imagine how bored I was knowing that this took me 40 minutes when my flight was leaving in 10 minutes. It was not a happy look at all. I was not at all okay. I was like holding it together with like the other people complaining about how they don't like flying because this is a huge issue in like airports and how they deal with like people at the airport. I don't know. So I basically get off. I go to A. I'm confused because still no one's here. No one lives. I guess we're like the little teachers that people think who live in the building. I don't know. There's no one here. And I'm just going to any random person who looks like they work there and being like, do you work here? They say, yes, great. Can you help me find this flight you probably have no idea exists? And they're like, oh yeah, just go here. And I'm like, great, perfect. And I go there, and there's no one there. And I'm like confused, because I'm like, oh my god, did I miss my flight? Because obviously I did miss my flight. Let's not act brand new. I missed it, but it was also like not my fault, which is like crazy to have to say that. But yeah. But I checked the app, because I'm like, well, if it's gone anywhere, I'll be able to know if it left, like when. Maybe it left 2 minutes ago. Maybe it barely left. Maybe it was leaving for real at like 2:30 and I didn't really miss it yet. It was canceled. What is my life? It was canceled. My plane to Chicago was canceled. And it was 2:30, 2:40 by the time I ran with my carry-on, right, to go to this, terminal gate, whatever. And it was canceled. And I'm like, okay, good news is I didn't miss it. So silver lining for the mental health, whatever. And I go back on the app because I'm like, okay, we need a solution. And I kind of look up where can I get, like, where's the next available flight to go to Chicago. And this is at this point, it is Sunday morning. It's like almost 3 o'clock in the morning Eastern time. And they're giving me 6 p.m. Eastern time. You can get a Chicago flight with a layover. With a layover. 6 p.m. I had to wait over 12 hours to get another plane for the same thing that was in United. And United, I was doing that because they were giving free rebooking, because they've been giving free rebooking all nights. And they're trying to give me a meal voucher, which I would rather have a refund. But, I digress. Whatever. But I couldn't find anything. Literally, it was either you do 6 p.m. or you do Monday morning. And Monday morning, you're just like, I have work this day, and I'm not trying to have this be a great excuse to not show up. Like, oh no, I'm still at the airport that we all thought I was coming back on, at least on Saturday, but it turns out to be Monday night. But I was just like, okay, girlie, time to walk in. You have to walk in. Where is your luggage? Where is that big old suitcase you came with? Because I was this close to having a mental break. Well, the rubber band's in my hand. I was this close. This close to have a mental breakdown in front of someone or myself because I could not figure out life at the moment. Because I'm like, where am I going to go? I don't have a hotel to be in. I don't want to sleep on the airport with like the 20 other people who, have to also be there, right? And just 12 hours later, which is a crazy timeline I was not prepared for, nor did I want to be prepared for. I did not want to be prepared for 12 hours. I was literally looking into Uber rides. They don't go to Chicago from New Jersey, so that was unfortunately a miss. But I went to baggage claim because I was like, okay, maybe my bag is here because this is a layover, and if I can't go, they can't go. So I go to I don't know, she did work there, but I think she was security, and she was able to look into the system to see where my stuff was. And she said, oh, it's in Chicago because that's where your stop is supposed to be. And I said, oh, perfect. Not really. I would very much rather it be with me, because the idea that my baggage can get there but I couldn't, kind of just like, I don't know, it made me feel some type of way that wasn't a great thing. It made me feel really lonely, which is stupid to say, but it kind of made me feel a little lonely because it's like, where's all the stuff I came with that I own? Why is it always somewhere else and I'm here alone? Like, no one can help me find a plane. No one can rebook it for me. I have to do all of the work and possibly pay for a new flight because United was useless, that I would soon find out. And I was like, at the very least, I wanted my stuff back. It's like having a stuffed animal when you have like nightmares. It's like, this will comfort me. My stuff would have comforted me. All I had is my backpack that had like my laptop and my phone. And I was like, as much as I love my phone, I want the clothes that I paid a lot of good money for over the years to be with me and not like probably in Chicago. So I was freaking out. If you couldn't tell, I'm not freaking out anymore. I'm literally on the floor of my bedroom because honestly, I don't know what else to do. But at the time I was freaking out really badly. I went to the bathroom and I literally was reordering a ticket using a different airline. And I was like, I basically was crying in the bathroom. But not while I was looking for potential ways to get to Chicago. Because at this point, United was like, you're not going to Chicago unless you do it on Monday. Because 6 p.m. was booked apparently. Because everyone had the same idea. But I just didn't think it was a good one. So I didn't book it. And then I was like, okay, I'll take Greyhound. Because at this point, Greyhound is cheaper. It would have taken me 24 hours. Yeah. As you can tell, I'm kind of a problem-solving oriented person. If you can't tell from my major, I used to be mechanical engineering major. So I am a problem solving oriented person. So knowing that I couldn't solve a problem or come up to a solution was stressing me out because this was affecting me and my stuff. So I very much started crying in the bathroom while I was actively looking for a new flight because in my head, because United had all the Chicago flights, gone and canceled and delayed and disappearing on me, I thought every flight to Chicago would be like gone, disappearing, like, no longer in my life type of way. But I went to Delta, which apparently gave like the worst options, but like the only way I can get out of there. And now currently it's like 3 a.m. in the morning. Delta had this flight for 6 a.m. in the morning with a layover to Detroit. A layover to Detroit. I could take probably an Uber from Detroit to Chicago. No one would do that. But if I could, I could have, right? So why are you having a layover in Detroit and then it's another hour flight from Detroit to Chicago? Okay. But I take it because I'm crying in the bathroom without my stuff, just my carry-on backpack, and I'm questioning why all of this had to happen on a Saturday, Sunday weekend, right before I go right back to work and have to deal with all the stress of like coming back to Chicago and not having my stuff with me, So I literally was like freaking out and everything. But I booked the flight and then I went straight to Dunkin'. Yep. America runs on Dunkin' coffee, but I got a refresher because it was 3 in the morning, so I did not need that coffee, for real. I also don't like coffee, so that did not work out very well for me anyway. But I was snacking on Dunkin' because I was stressed. I wouldn't even call it stress eating because I haven't eaten in like several hours, so I would just call it like just eating my feelings because I already cried myself empty, so I did that. And then it's like 4 o'clock and I'm just like, okay, well now we have to go to Delta because I'm in United. And then I go on this plane. It comes on time. It left like 30 minutes late. We get to Detroit. It's like literally about an hour delay or an hour layover, but really like they're all delays in my eyes at this point. Like I was so stressed out at this point, I really did not care that if it was a layover. I was like, hey, if you can get me to Chicago, that would honestly be the best bet for me right now. Just like take me home. Airport from Detroit. It's an hour layover. Turns into an hour 30 because of delays. At this point, my hands are like so far away from the situation. I'm like slightly dissociating from the fact that I even have problems at this point. And I'm just glad to be in a situation where I have a potential solution that if all goes wrong, you might not see me tomorrow. But in a game. So these flights come, I'm booking first class accidentally. I don't know how I booked first class. I couldn't tell you. I was like through tears booking my flight on Delta. So I got first class for both my trip to Detroit and then my trip to Chicago. And let me tell you, maybe I should have been a little more like less sad because it felt like I was in economy with more leg room. It really didn't hit like anything crazy, but maybe I should have, I don't know, whatever. It is what it is, It was a nice experience, but the plane was also like half empty, so I couldn't tell why more people were in first class because no one sat next to me, which was kind of weird. But I get to Chicago and I'm like, great, it's hot as hell because 85-degree weather is crazy. And it's also like 10 a.m. in the morning. And with all these time changes, I'm just like, I don't care. I need my luggage. So it takes me forever to go from Delta to United because they originally had my suitcase. And I am walking and getting 10K steps in different time zones because that's how bad it is. I'm like, okay, well, I'm getting my suitcase. And the app, I don't know what the app was doing. The app wasn't doing anything. It wasn't updating me. The before you say in the comments, oh, wasn't couldn't you just check the app? The app doesn't update. It just said, oh, it went to like New Jersey, and I was like, but like I'm not even in New Jersey, and it didn't even like I don't know what is it still there? Like what are we doing? Eventually, I get to the boarding people. I get to baggage claims, and I'm like, hey y'all, hey y'all. So I need my bag, and they look at me and I'm like, oh. Can I see your ticket? And I'm like, yeah, here you go. Here's my ticket. You know, it's like been booked and busy 4 different times and doesn't even count anymore. And they look at it and they're like, oh, computer. Oh. She says, shocking and bewilderness in her eyes. Or it's, yeah. It's still in Dublin. Wow. Crazy. I just kind of look at her like, oh, is that true, huh? And we're both just kind of like, laughing because it's so crazy. But in my heart, I'm like screaming because the bag that I'm being told was go to Chicago is not even left the station. It is still at the place I gave it to. I gave it to the people to send it to Chicago as you do. And now I'm like, okay, so I'm going home without the suitcase that has all of my skincare products and half of my clothes in it. And I'm just supposed to what? Do a baggage claim report? Yes. Yes. The woman basically gave me a sheet of paper and says, here you go. Here's this baggage claim. If they don't contact you in 24 hours, just call them. And I'm like, 24 hours is Monday in my head because she can't do anything more than that. But I was just like, wow. This was depressing. But yeah. Honestly, this storyline, I'm making this scene kind of funny now. Obviously, would be smiling, whatever. But like during the time, I was just like, it felt like I was like, I don't know, rowing upstream the entire time. Like there were people who have clearly done it and have succeeded in it and came out with like a few bumps and bruises. But it's like my ship was never made to like even be in water. And the entire time I'm just taking water and I just can't swim. And if I don't go, I will just be drowning. And I don't die. I just drown and feel the weight of the drowning. And that is as dark as I can get, you know, without it being like, oh my God, are you okay? And it's like, well, at the time, no, I wasn't okay. But I had no choice but to like not break down again in the middle of an airport while I see so many suitcases people didn't pick up. And yet I'm over here trying to figure out where my suitcase is so I can like not pick it up and then pick it up. And then it's still in a different country. And I'm like, well, there goes my safety bag. It's not actually my safety bag, but the comfort it would have brought to me during my time of need was the safety that I didn't get. So I bought food from a vending machine. And then I took my ass home via Uber. And then I stayed in bed for hours. Because, you know, I'm back in Chicago, gotta enjoy it, but I'm also really sad because this whole day was just like, I don't know, it's like I missed an opportunity I couldn't control, right? Like I wanted my weekend to be my weekend back in Chicago, not to do anything, but to literally just be back in Chicago. Instead, I have to go to work tomorrow and be like, oh, wow, what a great vacation I had. Which it was good. Ireland was great. But the coming back made it not seem worth it anymore. It was like you can deal all of this. Like, imagine going to your favorite space and having to deal with so many layovers that you're just like, was it worth me going? And the answer is probably yes if you're going to, like, I don't know, Hawaii. But I was going to Ireland for work, and I'm like, if it was for fun, I probably would have been like more accepting, but it was for work, And I was already stressed as it was before I left, and then I left even more stressed and no solutions except to get back home. Or, be stranded on the side of the street trying to hitchhike for the next 3 days. I don't know what would have came above my head. I don't know. We don't want to know what engineers think about when they're left alone with their thoughts. But, yeah, I was just not feeling great. So I came home, literally laid in bed all day. Went to the store, literally had to buy things to replace the things I don't currently have right now because it's in my suitcase. And I was just like, how long will it be gone for? I don't know. So I bought like small items just in case I get it, but we're in limbo. We're in the limbo phase. Yay. We kind of just wait 24 hours to get my suitcase that I really hope isn't destroyed because it's not a thick suitcase, but I have a lot of stuff that I like in there, so I really hope it doesn't get destroyed. If it does, I'll cry again. I'm gonna be so sad just talking about this tomorrow. Because I just know my coworkers will be like, "How was the trip?" And I'll be like, cry. Like, they lost my suitcase. They left it behind. I'll be so upset. And it'll be like, I can't go in the office because half of the stuff I need are in there. And I just don't want to go in the office knowing that's true. So this is emotionally wrecking me. And I didn't even know it could get this far. But hey, when you don't cry for years and then you cry about something like this, it kind of shows you're still human. So I don't mind crying about this kind of stuff. I didn't mind it at the time. I was like, whoa, girlie, keep that in a down low. But now that I'm in the safety of my home, I could cry about it. I'm not going to right now, but maybe tomorrow when, people are like back at work, oh my God, how did it go? And I'm like, it was great until like the last day. And they're like, oh my God. So, yeah, more of the story is, I don't know. I honestly don't know. Like, this was a round trip. So I had no choice but to take it today or yesterday. I couldn't have changed it because it was a round trip. But I guess more of the story is keeping the AirTag in your luggage. I don't know. I don't own an iPhone or anything Apple products. So keep an AirTag so you know at all times, kind of. So at the very least, even if you don't make it somewhere your luggage is going, because luggage goes missing all the time. And I'm not praying on my downfall. That's not what we do here. But in my little space, I'll come back and I'll be like, wow, what a great story. But it's like, oh, this sucks. This sucks a lot. But yeah, I'm tired. And this will be a really great afro when I'm done with it. Because wash and goes, yeah, it's not going to happen with this product. This has no hold, nothing good is happening. It just has moisture. And honestly, it's all I need right now. I just finished washing it, and honestly, took some elbow grease to get this thing really all in there. So, yeah, no more 2 weeks without washing our hair, guys. We're going to wash this weekly now. Took forever. But yes, that was really all. I'll finish this off stream, but just pretend it's done because honestly, it looks the same now. But yeah. I hope to not travel for a while. I don't want to leave Chicago or the comfort of my home until I get my luggage, and even then afterwards. So, thank you for listening. If you will be listening to it, if not, thank you for just showing up. But yes, this is Miracle signing off. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. I make videos every week just talking shit about life, because sometimes life needs to be talked shit about. So, if you like it, come back and I'll have a new video on Friday. So, thank you. See you then.